Welcome, guys, to Let's Play Tales of Xillia. This is a game that introduced me to a series that I honestly have fallen in love with as of late. The Tales of series has been around for 15 years, and this is actually the first game that I've played in the series. This game is such a wonderful game, and honestly, it's made me want to go and play more of the Tales series and experience what I didn't experience in the past. But for this Let's Play, this is going to be a 100% Let's Play, by the way. Before the game plays again. Right off the bat here, we got a lot of stuff off the menu. That's because, well, I've beaten the game, obviously. We're going to ignore New Game Plus. I'm actually going to show off what New Game Plus does later. The main reason is because I'm doing 2 playthroughs of this game at the same time. This game actually has 2 story modes, and I'll get into more detail about that when that happens. But the second playthrough I'm doing it on New Game Plus mode, and I'll explain more detail about that when we get to that. But for right now, we're going to do New Game. As of right now, right when you start, this is actually this menu pops up when you first pop in the disc for the first time. Message speech, I want instant. Auto, text advance. Yeah, I'll just leave it on. Subtitles on, obviously. A lot of the things for battle difficulty. Okay, here we go. We got easy, moderate, hard. Easy, normal, moderate, hard. If you were playing on New Game Plus, there would be another mode. This is what I'm talking about with New Game Plus. There would be a difficulty called unknown difficulty. For this playthrough, I'm strictly going normal. So don't worry about that. Pretty much, this is just your other controls and stuff like that. Music volume is right, just fine. We're just going to confirm our settings. So let's start the game with these settings.
The spirits are dying. I fear the power of Spyrix is behind this. We should investigate. So how long has it been? 6 years? Time sure flies. Come. Fennmont awaits.
Dreams and wishes are fulfilled. Such is the life of all who live in Riza and Maxia, where hope springs eternal. The spirits have the power to bring man's wishes to fruition. And in turn, those wishes preserve and protect the spirit's livelihood. Therefore, it could be said that Maxwell The Lord of the Spirits is in fact the guardian of all things. In this world, no known evil exists that could threaten this harmonious cycle. But if one did, perhaps it might lurk in the hearts of men.
Hey! Oh! So sorry! Hey! Sorry! I gotta move.
Alright, so this is, as you guys can probably tell, this is a pretty heavy cutscene type game. For the most part, I'm going to be quiet through most cutscenes and whatnot. I might talk during some, I might not. So I'm just warning you about ahead of time. But this is the first time, apparently, in the Tales series that you actually get to choose a character right off the bat. You get to choose two characters. There's two main heroes to this game. So it says select a main character. This is what I was talking about doing two playthroughs. You got Jude Maithus and Mila Maxwell. For the majority of the let's go and look at their bio. It says a kind, clever medical student who left home to attend school in a capital city. Poised to graduate, Jude is eager to find his purpose in life. Let's go to Mila. It says, a mysterious young woman accompanied by the four unseen beings. She comes across as calm, collected, and wise beyond her years. What I was talking about, the two playthroughs. For this LP, I'm majorly going to play as Jude. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, Mila's and Jude's story are practically one and the same. And you'll understand why. Because Jude and Mila actually accompany each other, and their cutscenes are exactly the same. Except certain parts. There's going to be, I can think of at least 2 parts in this entire game where they're going to be, things are going to be, actually 3 parts. 3 parts, and the third part that I'm just now remembered is right here at the beginning. But there's 3 major parts in the game where they're going to be split up. I can really think, actually 4. Never mind. There's going to be at least a couple parts where they're going to be split up. For that part, like the missing parts that we do not see, I will fill it in where it needs to be appropriate, if you know what I mean. So, but we're going to be playing as Jude mostly. I will show the parts where it shows a Mila's. Mila's playthrough is going to be on New Game Plus, by the way. And I'll go in more detail about that later. But for right now, we're going to choose Jude. Play as Jude? Yes.
Okay, let's go.
You okay? Those documents must be for the registrar's office.
Yeah, thanks for helping out. You sure you have time for this? Don't you have residency training with Professor Haus?
Don't worry about that. You're in a rush too, aren't you?
Shoot, you're right. Thanks again. You better get moving too.
Right. Crap, I'm gonna be late.
So now we have navigation tools here. It says press R1 for the Navi button to field your view of current objective. You can also check your current objective to read a detailed synopsis of the story and the event list in the menu. Okay, right off the bat we have control. Actually, it shows you the control of the PS3. Yeah, that's pretty much that in a nutshell. X is confirmed, circle is cancel, triangles to open menu, squares to show the map, and then the navigation button, and reset camera, yada yada yada. Select this to view a skit. I'll get into more detail about what a skit is later. But we'll get into more detail about that later. But right now we have control of Jude. As you can see, we can move around as him. I'm going to be... something I failed to mention is each of the characters holds different weapons. Jude, I'll go into more detail when we actually have a battle, but Jude is a fist fighter, and Mila is a sword fighter. So we'll go into more detail about that later. As of right now, we are late for class, and we have to go into class and whatnot, and stuff like that. You can actually go up and talk to the people. An indication, if you haven't talked to said person, is their mouth would be open above their head. You can talk to them, it says. Even the 4 great spirits answered to someone, a guy named Maxwell, I think. Maxwell is a physical form, appeared as some wrinkly old man with a long beard. So it looks like, yeah, see, if you talk to him, he had a closed mouth. Most of the NPCs have really a lot of stuff to say, but it's really up to your discretion whether or not you want to do so or not. There are going to be a lot of sub-events. Some sub-events are like mini-quests and whatnot. Those are going to have a different icon above their head. So you'll know which one's which. But for right now, let's go up here. If you push R1, it says head to the reception of Talon Medical School. So we need to go up here, I think, if I remember correctly.
Tardiness won't get me any extra credit with a professor. Let's see, what building was he in again?
Okay, so Professor Haus is over here. As you guys can see, the beautiful land of Fennmont. This is the world is called Maxia, and it's such a gorgeous place to look at. Like, this is honestly like a screensaver you put on your computer and whatnot. But let's go in here real quick to the reception hall here.
Professor Haus, are you leaving?
Well, look who decided to show up.
Yeah. Sorry I'm late.
Worry not, lad. Now, keep this between us, but I've been asked to help down at the lab. Top secret research, they say.
A request right from Orda Palace? Wow.
I need you to keep an eye on things until I get back. You can handle it, lad. Only patients with appointments will be coming in today.
What? Oh, right. I need you to sign my class credit form.
Your graduation thesis is coming along, I presume?
More or less. I should have the first draft ready by Ignis.
That's cutting things close, don't you think? The end of a race is no time to start slowing down. After all, I'm planning to make you my top assistant after you graduate.
Thank you, Professor.
I'll be back in a few hours.
So much for an easy day.
Okay, so now after that little cutscene, we have an event list is updated, and we got an item, the class credit form. If you couldn't tell based on the story, Jude is a brilliant student of medical field. His character kind of uses these skills in a way. I will say, if you push triangle, you can open up the menu, and we have a lot of stuff we gotta say. Now, there was one particular thing that happened in that cutscene particular. He mentioned the word Ignis, and it was in red. Key terms that you might not know appear in that color. Ignis is actually a form of time in the world of Maxia. So if you're wondering what that is, it's probably something like that. Actually, I think if you go up here down to the library, it kind of tells you. No, I don't think so. I think it's something else. But anyways, our next thing is to head to the examination room. So the examination room, I do believe, is down this way, if I remember correctly. Gotta come down here. You can move the camera with the right stick, if I do believe so. Come down this way here. And come into this door.
I can't believe I messed up my spirit channeling. That's kid stuff.
Okay, you're good to go. It's funny, though. There's been a real epidemic of channeling failures today. Any idea what went wrong, Mr. Eldon? Your brain's mana lobe looks tip-top.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I was able to draw out mana like usual, but then it was like the spirits ran off or something.
Like they were gone, huh?
Anyway, thanks, Doc. At least I can get back to work. It's my wife's birthday, too. Now I don't have to worry about letting her down.
No more patients for today, Dr. Jude.
You sure this is all above board, Nurse Prin? I mean, students aren't normally allowed to see patients by themselves.
Don't ask me. The professor is the one shirking his duties. He knows full well that urgent patients always show up. Serves you right for agreeing to stand in, if you ask me.
I guess with the amount of mana at his disposal, treating 10 people isn't any more taxing than treating 1.
He spent so much time developing his mana lobe that it skewed his perspective.
Beg your pardon. Have either of you seen Professor Haus?
Come to think of it, he should have been back by now. Why? Did something happen?
We've just been told he's been chosen for the Hal Prize.
What? Wow. Research honors don't get any bigger than that.
They want to see him immediately, but he didn't tell anyone where he was going.
Don't worry. He told me. I'll go fetch him.
Sorry for always sticking you with the odd jobs, Jude.
No worries, I'm used to it. I'll be back soon.
Now after that, our next task is to actually go find Professor Haus. Head to Lafayette Research Center. That's on the edge of Fennmont. But before we leave, there's actually like 2 sub-events that are missable here. So what we want to do is we actually want to go to the patient outwing, if I remember correctly, before we leave this place here. If I can remember where it's at. It's been a while since I played the beginning of a game like this thoroughly again. So we're going to actually go to the patient outwing, which I do believe is on the other side. Actually, no, that one's blocked off. There should be a man somewhere. I think we're supposed to go back here. So let's go up this way here.
Let's see. No point in leaving the city. And the Sea Haven is out of the way. My best bet is to cut across the central plaza and enter the research district. I should find the lab with Professor Haus there.
Okay, so it says use the mini-map on the top left corner screen. Check your immediate surroundings. Press square to display the full area map and current location. So if you ever get lost, it'll give you a map. We need to actually get these sub-events because this is kind of missable, and all this is going to be 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and do so. Sub-events are kind of like side quests, but not really. Not all the sub-events actually are side quests. They just immediately just activate a cutscene. That's all. There should be a guy over here. There he is. Let's go talk to this guy.
What are spirits? You could say they're an invisible presence that permeates our entire world. You could say they're the font of spirit arts, feeding off the mana from human mana lobes. You could say they're the guiding hand that turns the wheel of all existence in Res Maxia. In other words, the symbiotic relationship between human and spirit is at the core of every facet of our lives. But we don't know when this relationship began. How did humans and spirits relate before our modern spirit art culture? What was the world like then? Ah, it's hopeless. Once again, the sun is setting without any answers in sight.
This is Fennmont? The sun never rises.
But it kind of gives you a little backstory. But it says event list updated. If you come down here to, I do believe, event list right here, it says a synopsis of the plot and current objective found on the event list. It also sub-events and their objective. Using the event list, you can change the objective to displayed on the Navi button displayed. You can still complete other objectives, of course. So pretty much it says Jude's story tells us where to go in the main story. Sub-events, it says right here, we have completed this one. So this is actually a sub-event that we actually completed. That guy right there kind of gave you the backstory of, like, how magic is practically diversified in this game. Mana is actually drawn from spirits, which humans and spirits have, like, a symbiotic relationship where humans can draw their mana power, which is their magic power, essentially, from spirits. But if you come down here, you'll activate a second sub-event right here. Jude sure is diligent. He even works hard on the projects that had nothing to do with his training. He's just a good guy who likes helping out. But doesn't he plan to apply for a job here? Yeah, on Professor Haus's recommendation. He's going to be Professor's #1 assistant. Honestly, I'm kind of jealous. I guess that's what he gets for flaunting the whole nice guy routine. That's pretty cynical a way to put it. But honestly, don't you think so too? Well, I guess at times it does seem kind of seem like he's just doing a nice guy act. Wow, that's kind of mean. Right? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but sometimes it does make me wonder of his true intentions. I'm not saying it's a bad thing either, but I know exactly what you mean. Jude's kind of bothered by this. It's like, I'm just a nice person. Why do you have to say that stuff about me, especially in front of me? But yeah, as you guys can see, another event has activated here. So we go up here and it says rumors about Jude. Jude overhears students, nurses, and friends spreading rumors about him by happenstance. That's kind of mean. But yeah, those are actually missable sub-events. Granted, it's really not a big deal if you miss these, but if you're like me and want 100% games and try to get all trophies, because there is a trophy, you don't have to complete all the sub-events in this game. You only have to complete, I do believe, 90 out of like the 100 and some odd in the game. But I'm going to actually go and complete all of them so you guys would know where they are if you ever need help with that. But I actually am going to, in the if you're probably wondering when's that part with Mila come in, that's going to actually come into the next episode. Because I'm actually going to stop it right here, because I'm actually kind of running it a little bit overboard here. One thing this game does offer is a quick save system. So this actually helps out for my LP and whatnot. So quick save option allows you to quick save right off the bat here. Yeah, I know, overwrite this data. You only have one quick save you can actually do. So it's not a big deal, but we're going to actually quick save over here. There we go. But, anyways, in the next episode of Let's Play Tales of Xillia, we are going to continue and try to find Professor Haus. So I will see you guys in the next episode.